Frank Ragnow of your Detroit Lions. You are now tuning into the official new hotness, the One Pride podcast presented by ISN. This is your source for all Detroit Lions news, rumors, pre- and post-game day breakdowns. Go Lions.
Hey, what's going on, YouTube? This is Mr. Mike, and today we got the One Pride podcast. We talk all things Detroit Lions news, rumors, analysis, breakdown, and everything regarding our franchise. And I am with the fellas of ISN on another Thursday. It's cold here in Michigan. It's cold, fellas. It's cold. I know it's cold in Canada too, Mark. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, guys. How's everybody doing? I can feel the electricity in the air. Let's go.
I want to say thank you to my light that's beaming on me, giving some heat because it is cold. Antonio Hightower, what's going on, man? Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yes, and that was the great words from Antonio Hightower. And we got the Gridiron Blitz, the host of Spiked Kool-Aid. What's going on, Grid?
What's going on, guys? In today's show, we're going to have more Spiked Kool-Aid and talk some Detroit Lions.
He's got that drink on, and we also see that we got John Kapler in here. What's going on, John?
Up,
B. Taylor. What's going on, B. Roberto Martinez. Aiden. We have Incline Jimbo G. We got One Pride 40 Kev up 313 class. Man, we got a lot of people coming in here. Travis Doyley, John Kapler, Christopher Green. If I missed your name, well, it was not on purpose. It's because I am crazy. Antonio Hightower, you are here. What do you got?
Oh, it's working now.
Yeah.
That was most enthusiastic I've been.
Whoa, what? Whoa, man, the light turned on. What's going on? Go Lions, Frog Crop, Bryce. Welcome. Let's get this party started. I wanted to talk initially just about free agency. You hate me, Mackenzie. What's going on, Frog Crop? I wanted to start up with that, but there was a trade, and it does affect the Detroit Lions. Aaron, what's going on, Steve-O R70? There was a trade, and the trade was Carson Wentz got traded away to the Indianapolis Colts. Mark Orm from Orm's Forum. How does it affect the Detroit Lions?
Well, this could affect them as the Philadelphia Eagles are supposedly going to be looking at a quarterback now. I don't think it's not in stone, but they did draft Jalen Hurts last year in the second round. I remember we were kind of talking about this earlier in the day, just kind of going over it, and I went and looked at Hurts's numbers, and his completion percentage is really bad, 52% to be exact, and that's not that good. I know he was a rookie, not too many weapons over there, but now there's rumors that they're going to be looking hard at a quarterback. And as you guys know, there's a possibility that we were going to be looking at a quarterback at 7. I don't really think we will be now with Goff, even though I still think he's a bridge quarterback. Mm-hmm. But this could affect the Detroit Lions. There could be a team too behind us, teams up, actually plural, that could jump up ahead of us now and maybe trade with the Philadelphia Eagles right there. So this could affect us large. This is big time because there could be 4 quarterbacks going, guys, in the first 5-6 picks. So this is nuts.
I know it's crazy, like strong D's, man. Very crazy. Yeah, look at that strong. That D is strong, man. It will knock you on your face.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Antonio Hightower. This is something you may not know a lot about, and that's strong D's. Joking.
Y'all are.
Let me tell, how does this affect when it comes to the Eagles trading Carson Wentz? How does this affect the Lions, man?
Well, it could mean the Colts. The Colts were one of the few teams who might trade up with us because they want a quarterback, takes them off the market, and it also kind of puts the Eagles on the market because they might decide to take a quarterback. Last time I checked, they're ahead of us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They are 6.
So there's a chance we might get to 7 and. All the top 4 quarterbacks is gone. Now our pick is a lot less valuable already.
Yep.
It might affect the Lions in many ways. It just the only way there's no real way that it helps the Lions at all. It just hurts us. It could mean that some team like a Bears might be more desperate to even move up for the quarterback now because their hope was really like if it wasn't Wentz, that was pretty much all they had.
Yeah.
So there might have been a lot of teams who don't really have the capital to get like a Watson.
Mm.
They might be more willing to trade up now, but even then, I doubt that.
Yeah, man, they purposely lost that game, and that's made them 6. Thank you to the coach that got terminated and removing Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Purposely lost that game. Bunch of pricks. But on a positive note, on a positive note, even Carson Wentz did not want to go to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
That just makes me really, really happy.
Wow. I did not know
really
that.
happy.
Yeah.
Did not
You
know
lose
that.
your linebacker, he says, to the Nah over
Wow.
there in Chicago, to Detroit. And now Carson Wentz, I regard as one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, says no. How does this affect the Detroit Lions grid?
Well,
Wentz,
see,
Trey.
I think a lot of people feel like we're going to take a quarterback. I'm still not sold at that, but now, like you guys have been saying before, that affects us because if we were, now that means that the Eagles are now in the market. Now, I feel like they might be looking at Jalen Hurts. I don't think he was that bad. He didn't get a ton of time. I don't think he was that bad. But now I'm also intrigued about the Miami Dolphins, who finagled that third overall pick. So now you got, what will the Dolphins do with Tua? Because if the Eagles are willing to possibly take a quarterback, you're talking about the top 4 quarterbacks could all be gone before 6 even or 7 even gets here. So I think if we were looking for a quarterback, one of those top 4, then this definitely puts a damper on that. And maybe, just maybe, Brad Holmes might pull what he did for Goff and try to finagle a few stops up.
Man, you know what it does tell? It tells that we have 54 in the building and only 21 likes. How is that possible, man? Let's get those likes up, folks. The more likes you get, the more chance that the video gets out, and we're going against the legacy media. They hate Detroit. They don't like our team. They don't like our city, and we do. So let's get our voice out there. What it means to me is we had a lot of strength when it comes to the draft.
Yep.
And I feel like we lost a little bit if the Eagles are now in the quarterback camp, because if the top 4 are gone, the Lions are at 7, that trade back scenario gets a little bit worse. However, unless Mac Jones becomes a little bit pricey, I guess, maybe a team like the Washington football team, the New England Patriots, all these other teams they got one quarterback left, because I don't think Kyle Trask is going to be a guy that they want to look at to trade up for. So maybe Mac Jones, because I was listening to the Kiper Juniors, and they're saying that they think this guy's going to be a top 10 draft pick.
Oh.
But it affects us
Wow.
because of the trade back scenario. But Jamar Chase, he could be there now. You know, a lot of people are saying Jamar Chase could go to the Philadelphia Eagles because they need a wide receiver. Now Jamar Chase could be available. Antonio Hightower, what do you think about Chase? Would he be a selection the Lions should look at?
No. Very, very no. Especially because I could trade back and probably still get Waddle. Because Waddle's probably most likely not going top 10. So I could trade back and still get the more talented player. Even though, you got injury concerns, but I still have concerns about Chase. I'm just not taking a wide receiver at 7. Well, there's nothing wrong with taking a wide receiver at 7, but the Lions shouldn't take a wide receiver at 7, especially when you can get some better ones later in the draft, including a guy that coming into this draft we originally thought was the best or second best receiver in this class. You could probably get him outside the top 10. So I just don't see a reason why you would take Chase at 7.
I like Chase, man. I think I do like Chase. I'm in the camp of take the best player available, whoever it is, unless it's a tight end and unless it's a cornerback. I'm just not on board with that. Mark Orm from Orm's Forum. Chase is on the board at 7. Okay, he's on the board. Also, we have Micah Parsons on the board. Who are you taking? Somebody else?
Well, myself, guys, I like Micah Parsons. I like the linebacker. I think that's a kid that you can build around. I know he's got some raw abilities and or he's got some deficiencies in his covering skills, but all around, I think he stuffs the run well. He gets to the quarterback. He's a guy that you can actually build around. And drafting a wide receiver, I think right now, guys, in a rebuild, I think is a complete SOL move. I don't like it just because, too, I know our wide receiver situation is bad. I haven't forgot about that, but this wide receiver class is pretty deep. You can get a really good wide receiver down the road. You can go get somebody cheaper in free agency, man. You can bring in there's all kinds of guys you can bring in on the cheap. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to bust the bank for anybody. But at 7, I'm not looking at a wide receiver. Not right now. This is not the way you rebuild a team by grabbing a wide receiver. Not in 2021. They just
who do you take? Who do you take at 7? Because in my opinion, defensive talent is completely lacked in the beginning of this draft.
It is, but I like Micah Parsons. I'm in love with the guy. I think he's a generational talent, and I still like Gregory Rousseau. I know that you have to do a lot of homework on the guy, maybe if you want to pick him at 7. But I do like him a lot. I think he can be that guy that can get you 10+ sacks a season if you build around him right. You know what I mean? And I think Brad Holmes will do that. But I know there's 2 guys that I like on defense, guys. It's Parsons and it's Rousseau. But
you know who else I like?
Jamar Chase, man.
You know who I really like, but not at 7? That's the Dern. What's going on, Dern?
What's up, Dern?
Are you sure you don't want me at 7, man? I'm going to do this thing great.
Look, bro, I like you a lot. I do, but I wouldn't take you in the 8th round, man.
Man, I don't know, man. What's going on,
what do you
everyone?
think, man? What are we going to do at 7? I think you're a Chase guy like me, right? You like Chase a little bit too?
Now that we saw Wentz leave and the rumors are coming out that the Eagles want to draft a quarterback to give Hurts some competition, I think Chase might fall. And in my opinion, he's the best wide receiver in this class, and he would do wonders for Goff.
Look, if Penei Sewell fell, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'd love.
I'm taking him.
He's not.
Yeah.
Look, I still got a 2% chance.
I got
2%.
you. Hey, Mike, how about a 0% chance? How about that?
No, I'm not doing 0% chance, man. Not doing 0, but I got a 2% chance. One could wish, right? Or Rashawn Slater. Would you take Rashawn Slater? Dern.
It's really hard to say. I mean, I would do my best to try to trade back a little bit, but in my mock draft that I kind of did for you guys on the fly, I had him going before our pick.
Travis Doyley with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, hot topic. I would rather have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the linebacker. Man, I cannot wait for you guys to see my mock draft. It will be dropping. I think it's tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure what day it is, but this guy is a good linebacker. Now, he's a little small, 6'1" at 215 pounds. You want to have a guy that's bigger. But Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, if we trade back, could be a target, Antonio Hightower.
Yes, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, JLK from Notre Dame, the best linebacker in the draft. We talk about linebacker is a weird position because the linebackers in the NFL aren't that valuable. But what is valuable is he could cover. Like, he can cover better than most linebackers. Like, I've seen him covering tight ends. I've seen him covering slot receivers, running backs. Like, he's one of those really versatile Miles Jack, Telvin Smith. I know they're both Jaguars. Like, he's one of those kind of guys. Like, he's very versatile as a linebacker. It's kind of like a linebacker safety hybrid, if anything. Just a chess piece to have on your defense. And in the NFL today, I would love to have him because the NFL today, if you're a linebacker and you can't cover, then your value is very low, no matter what else you provide.
Jelani Tavai.
Our linebacking core. Christian Jones.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, I do like this guy. He is a guy I do like, and I know Mark Oram. I think you like him as well. We've talked about this guy. Would that be someone you would target if they traded back?
Trading back 100%, man. I like this guy, but he is small. 215, man. He played out in college. I know he would have to maybe gain a few pounds. This guy's even played a little bit of nickel corner for Notre Dame, man. He's that good in coverage. But he has tendencies to get eaten up in the run game, but he is fast to the football. He makes plays. He forces fumbles too, man. He's a turnover guy too. He likes to he causes disruption all over the field. But he's small. He is small, and I think he would get eaten up in the run game almost right away. But he just needs to put on a little bit of size. But trading back and getting him 100%. I love the kid. He's a hell of a talent.
You know, they sometimes say that size doesn't matter. I kind of disagree a little bit. I think that it is okay to have big size.
Well,
I mean, that's just kind of the way. Like, I like the bigger ones, right? But he says, John Kapler says, hey, my hot ex made out with me years ago. There's always a chance at Panay.
oh, jeez. All right.
Hey, shout out to John, man, and shout out to the new member, Kev'd Up. Shout out to Kev'd Up, man.
What's up, brother?
Hey, John, man. Hey, if you can get that make out, then definitely, no doubt about it, man. You can. We have a chance to get Panay Sewell. I mean, hey, it's possible. Kev, huge shout out to you becoming a member. Appreciate you, bro. We do live streams that is not seen to the public. I actually did one today, so get ready for that. B. Taylor, what's going on? He says trade back. I love trade back scenarios here. Yeah. Let's talk about trade back, Gridiron Blitz.
And that's what I think they're going to do, man. I think that Goff is going to be the guy. I think if Trey Lance is there, do you take him? Do you not? Will they go defense? Will they not? We've got 6 picks right now. I really think that it's going to come down between quarterback and trading back because we're setting up very nicely for next year. If we trade back, I feel like Brad is going to turn those 6 into maybe 8. I think he's got some stuff lined up for next year as well. I think a lot of people don't want to believe the retool, but I think getting rid of our former quarterback, getting Jared Goff in return screams retool. I know we need a lot of stuff, man. Linebackers are garbage. We talked about it on Tuesday's show about maybe the defense isn't as bad. The personnel isn't as bad as the scheme was making them seem. So I feel like that trading back would be our best option. This guy is traded up to get the guy he wants. I have no doubt that he can go back and finagle at least. I mean, especially with Carolina being right behind us, they wanted to get our former quarterback. We didn't let that happen. So I see trade back, man. If Trey Lance is there, I think we take him if we don't trade back.
Woo! Josiah Coleman just dropped a $2 super chat. Hey, ask a question so you can get your question answered. I appreciate you, man. I love the trade back scenario. That's the thing with that quarterback that they traded Carson Wentz now to the Colts, because that was the team I was looking at. If there's a trade back, there'd be a team that would be aggressive about it. Hey, B says, great show. Hey, you guys are the one that makes it great. You guys basically run the show. We appreciate you. This is one pride here, man, where we talk all things Detroit Lions.
Let me jump in real quick, man, because you said that you had the Colts. Now check this out. I have the New England Patriots coming up, and right now, guess who Tankathon has them taking? Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. So don't be surprised. Exactly. So I really like this Patriots move, man. Bill Belichick, I know we don't want anything to do with them, but if he wants to come up, Mike, and get that 7th, give us 15 and 46, maybe a late round pick as well, I take it, man. I take that.
You know what? If we do trade with the Patriots, can we also send them a bunch of Patriots that we had over the past couple of years? We got some Patriots we don't need over here anymore. Go over there to Pat Matricia, go over there to Bill Belichick, and go with that flow. We will send that for just fun. You know, we got a couple of these guys we don't need anymore.
We got 16
of
them.
Desmond Trufant with you too.
Facts.
So he can be injured on that team.
We'll throw him in for free.
Yeah, we'll throw him in for free, man. Just showing some love here. Just like Travis Doyley. Always love the show, guys. You guys rock ISN channel. Hey, you rock. We appreciate it. But Josiah says, what do you guys think about the new salary cap limit? Just came out, Dern.
I haven't seen it. I've been working all day. I apologize. What is it at right now? I think it's
going to be at 180 million for 2021.
Man.
Yeah.
We have some work to do, boys.
Yeah, we got some work to do.
We got some work to do.
Like I said, let's send those Patriots back.
Well, I think I heard after June 1st, we can cut a couple of those terrible contracts that Quinn put us in.
Yeah.
So that might help out. But at that point in time, it's really hard to get a lot of other players in.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's really tough.
Folks, if you ain't subscribed to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button. Dropping content every single day. I'm a partner of Chat Sports. If you know Chat Sports, they're epic. Make sure you subscribe to their channel. And you see that guy in the middle. His name is Mark Orm from Orm's Forum. You must subscribe to his channel. He's trying to get to 1K. He drops lovely content all the time. And, of course, to this side, not the other side, that way, at the end, he says, Spiked Kool-Aid, subscribe to his channel. It's Gridiron Blitz. He does a live show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Spiked Kool-Aid, and it's fun. Look, man, I really think that we're going to have to trade away some players and cut some of these players. We need to – let's talk about Jesse James. Mark, what do we need to do with Jesse James here?
Oh, they need to dump him. They need to dump him. They need to show him the door, man. You could save a few million by doing it. I don't know if he was misused here. They paid too much to bring him over, and then they go and draft a tight end. It was such a Bob Quinn move that you can't really explain it. It was a baffling move to begin with. I don't know why they even did it. They barely used the guy. You know what I mean? He's a monster too, and they just barely use him. I'm sure he's better than what we've seen from him. They just didn't use him. But what's the point of having him around? Get rid of him if you can save a little bit of coin, and let's start adding to the cap, because that's what we need to do. We need to start adding money to this cap.
Can I jump in really quick?
One person you want to see get thrown away.
I actually have a theory on why they got Jesse James and then they drafted Hawkinson. Do you guys remember how the Patriots, of course, the Patriot way, they had Gronkowski and Hernandez, and it was really effective? I'm pretty sure they tried to mimic that, but it miserably failed because they didn't. They never schemed the tight ends into it.
Yeah, that was an odd. That was an odd. That was really
actually
odd.
Also kind of a theory why they got Jesse James. My theory is they got Jesse James kind of like a safety valve, because remember, Josh Allen almost fell to the Lions, and Bob Quinn was raving about Josh Allen. I think he was kind of like, well, we want TJ Hockenson, but if a player we don't expect to fall at our position falls here, then we got Jesse James who could just fill in for and be a starting caliber tight end.
Truth Teller dropping a $5 super chat, and he's telling the truth here. He says that wasn't the cap number. That was the minimum spending limit. Well, we appreciate you correcting this and making sure that the correct information out, Truth Teller, because without you, hey, the facts are not the real facts. What about Desmond Trufant? I think he needs to go.
Oh, yeah.
Go.
100% he needs to go. Yeah, 100% he needs to go, man. There's another guy that can't stay healthy. He wasn't healthy before we even picked him up. And all he's done is get hurt his first year as a Lion. Is another guy that you could save a bunch of money on. He's old. He's not that good. There's no point in keeping around a guy like that. We need to get better in the secondary, and having Desmond Trufant on this team is not going to make us any better. He's not. He was okay when he played, but you just can't. It's every week. You don't know if something's going to happen to him. You're always hearing about him getting banged up in game, then he gets banged up in a practice. He's just not trustworthy. You have to get rid of a guy like that, man. He's getting too old. It's time to start getting younger and better.
It's time to start getting younger. And there's a guy who's a linebacker for the Detroit Lions for many years now. It rhymes with Merritt Lavis. Gridiron Blitz. What should we do with Merritt Lavis? Should we sign him to a 5-year deal, or should we kick him to the curb? And
you got to put him and Kerryon Johnson in a rocket and shoot them to anywhere, because these guys are a waste of time. They're a waste of space. The unguided missile, and we got to get rid of these guys, man, because Kerryon Johnson, while he might be a decent blocking back, it's time to go. It's time to go. Jared Davis, man, he looks like a dude, like a pit bull you just let off, and he just runs past his prey, and he's gone. Okay, so I say we got to get rid of him, man. His time in Detroit is over. It's time to let him go.
You know what it reminds me of when you just said that is Forrest Gump, when he caught that ball and he ran it and he just kept going through the
right into the tunnel. Right into the tunnel.
He's gone. He never came back.
Yeah.
When it comes to Antonio Hightower, what is an individual you want to see come back? Or for a free agent, who do you want the Lions to pick up in free agency?
I would love to see B.D. Westbrook, wide receiver from He's from the Jags. Went to college at Oklahoma. Pretty good. He was good when he played. He just wasn't healthy. But like if the Lions you probably get it from cheap. You know, because even though he had production, he didn't stay healthy, so you probably get him cheap. High upside player. The Lions don't have a lot of wide receivers. He could be a starting caliber wide receiver with and a deep threat. The Lions haven't really had a deep threat in terms of speed in years. Yeah, he would just probably be a guy like to pick up. You know, Lions need wide receivers. He could be cheap, high ups, low reward, at low risk, high reward kind of pickup right there.
Yeah, I think we definitely going to go for those B guys. Dern, who is someone that you think the Lions should pick up in free agency?
Well, with those rumors that you can get out of some of those former Patriot contracts post June 1st, there's a guy that kind of does a similar role to Trey Flowers out there that I think you could get pretty cheap. You guys might remember him. He's from the 49ers, former third overall pick in Solomon Thomas. I think he would do pretty well. He's pretty good against the run, and he does the same thing that Trey Flowers does.
But he actually plays, though, right?
No. Well, he was on the depth chart. He was behind Nick Bosa.
Okay.
He got injured last year.
Okay.
He was injured last year. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's been trash.
So we have comment of the day. We got comment of the day right now from Josiah Coleman, a $5 super chat. He says, True Font might need to hit some of that new Calvin Johnson trees from his dispensary.
He needs something, man. He needs something that Tom Brady. He needs that Tom Brady drink or something, man. He needs something.
Yeah. True Font was a waste of time, money, space. Bob Quinn, man. You know what, Mike and fellas, it seems as though, and I think I'm speaking for everybody right now, man. I think Quinn was a fraud. I think he was a fraud, man. I think that the moves that him and Patricia made, you know, and I think Everson Griffin was a last heave to save his job, and he failed. But I think that some of the moves that this guy made, man, I mean, put us in a super deep hole. And that, I mean, the Kerryon Johnson, the Jelani Tavai, what's going on with that, man? So I don't know, man. I don't know how long it's going to take us to work out of this.
It's going to take a little
honestly,
bit.
I don't think the Lions are really in a hole like that, to be honest with you. You can get up a Trey Flowers contract, next year? Get his off the book. You can get Collins off next year. You can get Vita off next year. You can get Coleman off now if you want to, because even though Coleman and you can get Coleman off now while he's still a good player and semi cheap. I think the Lions cap space could be pretty good in like a year or two.
Yeah, I think it can be too. Yeah, we just got to get rid. That Vitae contract is a crusher. Same with Trey Flowers. That one's just it's a punch you in the throat type of contract. It was bad, man. We got 84 in the building with 48 thumbs up. Let's get to 60. That's 12 more. I think we can do it. Yo, what's up, guys? From Ready. What's going on, man? And One Pride Nation. He's a Lions YouTuber. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Zach J. What's going on? Look, there's you know how I'd like to get is to build this linebacking core up. To me, this is the linebacking core of the Detroit Lions is trash. And I think that if we could pick up at least one good free agent that could help that linebacking core out, and then maybe draft one in the draft, we can start to change that out there. Mark Orm from Orm's Forum, who is an individual in free agency that the Lions could get to build that linebacking core up? I mean, Levante David's a free agent. That's going to be a tough one to get. Yeah,
Levante David would be really nice, but he's going to come with a hefty price. Yeah. There's a guy from Buffalo. His name is Milano. I don't know his first name. He's a guy that was kind of hurt this year. I think it was this year he was hurt, man. But he's been pretty solid for the Bills, and he might come at a decent price tag. I kind of like him. There's a lot of linebackers I do like, but I still want to go young in the draft. But that Milano kid from Buffalo, he can kind of do it all, man. He's fast to the ball, but he did have some injuries last year. But I think he come at a pretty reasonable price tag. I do like him from Buffalo.
Iceman says you loved Flowers when they signed him, and that was a bum bust for me because it ain't working out too well.
So did I. I loved it as well. I thought it was a splash move, and we do have a potential out We do have a potential out this year.
Yeah, it was a splash move and ended up being splashed in her face.
Flop. Yeah.
It was a flop. So hey, everyone can get it wrong just like I can. But hey, who knows? Maybe he turns it around this season, right? Who knows? Who knows? Leonard Williams, yes. I love me some Leonard Williams, New York Giants. Okay, we just heard Antonio Hightower make the noise. Folks, when he makes this noise, it's going to mean he does not like this player. Okay? I like Leonard Williams. Antonio Hightower, tell me why I should not like him.
So I actually like Leonard Williams. He's kind of been up and down his career. He was elite for the Jets. Then all of a sudden he jumped off a cliff. Came to the Giants last year. He was pretty good. Now, I don't know how long it's going to stay because if we pay him, I mean, you're basically paying him off for 1 year because the past 3 years, 2 to 3 years before that, he wasn't that good. Also, I think the Lions don't really need to be paying that much for a D lineman like that, especially not honestly. Unless they're like super young, I really don't want to pay no money on free agency this year. If I'm being honest, I just want to draft. What happens with this season, hit free agency next year, because free agency next year is going to be significantly better than free agency this year. I like him. I just don't want to pay him all that money, especially when the Lions barely have any money to pay right now.
The money issue, that sucks because he's really good. He's a very good defensive lineman. I think he had 12 and a half sacks. He is a beast. I think he would definitely upgrade the defensive line. I would love to have. I love defensive linemen. I love the defense. I like the big guys in the middle. He would be a guy I would definitely, at least I'd make a phone call. At least look, Brad, we need help on this defense. This defense is bad.
If you can get it for a deal,
big boys in the middle.
If you can get it for a deal, then do it because he's pretty good, and there's not many D tackles that can get actual pressure in the NFL. But I think he's going to get paid a lot of money.
He is going to get paid a lot of money. He deserves it, though. Kevin says, you think we get any more draft capital before the draft? If so, where from? Yes, I do. I think there's a couple solutions here. You could potentially trade like a Jesse James, maybe get a late rounder, maybe a Kerryon Johnson, maybe something like that, a Coleman. And or how about this? This is what I've been talking about for a while. I know a lot of people say, Kenny Golladay, if they franchise tag him, they cannot work out a deal. What about franchise tagging him and trading him? Dern, what do you think? What can the Lions do to gain more capital before the NFL draft?
Man, if you franchise Kenny Golladay and then trade him, that's a lot of money you paying him to send someone else for draft picks. I'm just saying
you would have to rework a deal.
Yeah, with them, but you still have to pay that guaranteed money, don't you? I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Not if you trade him.
No, I don't think so.
Not if you trade him. If you trade him, no.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then I'm all for it. But from what I've heard and known for a little while, that you have to pay that guaranteed money because you franchised him. But a way to get more draft picks, man, I don't know that there will be too many trades up until the draft. Maybe draft day. I think I want us to trade back more than anything and then acquire picks. We had some scenarios with like Washington and then we get their first next year and like their second round pick. Yeah. I remember talking about that. And that's what I want. 3 first round picks next year, man. That's my deal right there.
Hey, Grid, I need you to do my favorite Killer Instinct one. Ultra Combo.
Right. Okay.
Here goes, folks.
Ultra Combo!
I will be doing that if we can get next year's first round. Have 3 first round draft picks. That would be sick.
Right.
Mark Orem from Orem's Forum. What can we do to get more capital in this upcoming draft?
Well, like we said, man, we can try to trade a couple players. I just don't really know who we can trade and who anybody wants, man.
Yep.
Really, like who we traded. Maybe like a Justin Coleman, maybe. What are you going to get, though? I don't think you can trade Jesse James. I don't think you can trade Kerryon. I think the only way we can do this, guys, is if somehow during draft day, if someone moves up. Then I don't see really anybody we could trade to another team and acquire more picks. I don't see a player He'd have to be a good player, and we don't really want to get rid of good players, to tell you the truth. There's nobody that comes to mind, guys. It's just on draft day. Draft day. I'm hopefully Brad Holmes can swindle somebody. He can swindle a team and maybe get I don't know if he get a 6 for a Kerryon Johnson. He can get lucky, get a 7th round pick. I honestly don't think you can trade anybody right now, guys, for draft capital.
100% right. Panthers are greedy for Lance. They have been extremely aggressive trying to acquire a quarterback.
Yeah.
That is why I'm really hoping the Eagles decide not to go quarterback, because if the Lions are sitting at 7 and Trey Lance is there, the Carolina Panthers, they want to get a quarterback. And I think that could be a position where you could get something back in draft capital. Let me see in the comment section, though. Let's spam this comment section. Do you guys want to do a trade back? Y for yes, N for no. Let's see what the fan base thinks. We got 103 people in here. Let's get 103 answers. It's nice to see what the Lions fans out there think, not just what we think, but what you guys think. And while you're doing that, in 14 minutes, we go to you, hashtag ISN, hashtag NFL, hashtag Lions, and we answer your question. You can ask us individually. You can ask us as a group. You can ask Antonio Hightower. He's always give good answers, very good answers. We got some N there from Cole. Harold says, yes. We got Lucky, yes. Carlos Watson, yes. James, yes. David, yes. Bryce, yes. Paul, depends on who's available. Okay, I see you. The Eagles, Jimbo, MB, YY, and of course, TA Noble Sports. What's going on, buddy? Subscribe to his channel. He's a member of ISN. Mention Mendel. Why? So we got a lot of yeses. We got a maybe and a no. So trade what? Trade back. Lions sitting at 7. Say we get a deal from Washington. They'll give us our 3rd round pick this year, and then they'll give us, I think it's, 19 overall, their pick, and then next year's first to come up from 19 to 7. See if you guys would like that deal. So we'd get a 3rd round draft pick and a 1st round draft pick in 2022. That would leave us with 3 1st round draft picks.
That'd be nuts.
Hey, Mike, listen, I think that the Lions are going to trade back. If you look at the situation here, you've got the Carolina Panthers. They're sitting at 8. There's a little known team that was atrocious last year. They were going to get Trevor Lawrence, and then they start winning games. The New York Jets, we forget about them. Are they going to stay with Sam Darnold? Are they going to take a quarterback? Are they going to get Deshaun Watson? We don't know. Carolina's making a push for him as well. So we're talking about the Carolina Panthers. They give us their 8th pick, okay? And they also give us their 39th pick and maybe another pick as well. I'm talking about early in the rounds, man. So we got a situation here. The Lions are going to trade back. Jared Goff is going to be the quarterback for the next few years. I don't think they take a quarterback this year. They take this deal. We got this quarterback market, man. We don't know what the Jets are going to do. We don't know what Miami's going to do. We know that Atlanta's kind of locked in with Matt Ryan, but what are they going to do? The Philadelphia Eagles, and we know the Carolina Panthers want a quarterback. The Denver Broncos want a quarterback. So expect the Detroit Lions to get a crazy deal and go backwards.
I'm just like Steve-O said, don't get your hopes up. I had my hopes up last year, and I got punched in the throat. So, and that's the truth. But I would love a trade back. I think that would be awesome. Another option here is you talked about Jared Goff. A lot of people dog this guy, Jared Goff. I think we need to give this man a chance, man. Just give him a chance. I feel like they have made this guy out to be a window licker and a crayon eater. I think he's going to be better than that. Dern, what do you think,
he's
man?
He's good crayons.
Man, well, people forget when he had a good run game that he was really good. And I saw this chart that I don't know how to say his last name, Logan Landermeer. He put out a chart on Twitter that I saw, and it showed 2 different pictures of how accuracy from Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff. Guess which one had the better accuracy?
Does it rhymes with golf?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So I don't know why people are not giving him a chance.
I say give him a chance. I mean, literally, we should. Mark Oram from Orms Forum.
Oh, 100% we got to give this guy a chance, man. He's only 26 years old. It's, you know what I mean? He's got the experience at a young age. He's got the experience at a young age. He's won some playoff games with his teams. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's not as bad as people say that he is. I know when this first came out, I freaked out. But I did. I'll admit I freaked out. But then, I calmed down a little bit, man. And I don't think this guy is going to take us to the promised land. You have to surround him with some talent, though. And like Duran said, and we even talked about this, I think, on Tuesday. We even talked about Goff, about how he was very good with the running game. He's very good play-action quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He was very good with Gurley. And he had some nice running backs last year, too, man. Some young studs over there in LA that made him look good, and he's nice off the play action. If you could do that with him, you could surround him with a good running game, then the sky's the limit for the kid. The kid will be good enough. I don't think he's going to be a superstar, but he's going to be good enough here. We just got to surround the kid with talent, and we got to give the kid a chance, something that we never did with Matthew Stafford. We never did. And I don't want to hear anybody say we did, because we didn't.
It didn't work out. It didn't work out, man. But it's time to give Goff. He is now the now. He's not the future. He's the now of this Detroit Lions gridiron blitz. You talk about this with me. We were in the same boat about the Jared Goff thing. Tell folks how you feel, man.
I feel like we got to give Jared Goff a chance, man. Our former quarterback is the guy that can win everything but hasn't won anything. Okay. And he's been here for 12 years when he's not anymore. This guy is going to a Super Bowl, 2 years removed from a Super Bowl. We got to put some respect on his name, okay? That's the way that I feel. We want to back a guy who's never had anything but's never won anything as well. I don't think Jared Goff is a horrendous quarterback. And when this move was made, shout out to David Carr, who said that the Detroit Lions could make a move with the LA Rams. And I said that if Jared Goff comes here, that this guy's trying to win. Brad does not want to tank. He doesn't want to rebuild. He meant what he said. He wants to retool this team. So Jared Goff, man, we got to put, but like Mark said, and like you guys have been saying, we got to put a team around him. And he had Akers, Reynolds, Everett. He had a team. He had the number one defense in the league. Now he's coming to the polar opposite, number 32. I'm serious, man. It's like moving from the North Pole to the South Pole, man. It's a completely different thing. And so Jared Goff needs a team around him. This dude can, and most importantly, guys, he needs a run game. He has to have a run game to get that play action and give him some. He can throw deep balls as well. Maybe not the arm Stafford has, but he can throw it long, man. So we got to give this kid a chance. He's taking his team to the Super Bowl. We got to give him some slack, man.
Got to give him some slack.
Can I add on to this really quick too?
Yes, you can always add. I like math.
Gosh. And you know how people, no matter what happened when we picked Jeff Okudah, that they just dogged him. You know for a fact that the first bad thing that Goff does, people are going to be all over him.
Typical Lions fan base, bro.
Yeah. No matter what, Lions fan base is never happy.
Ever.
Never, ever.
When it comes to Okudah, give this man a chance, man.
Yeah.
Dude, give this man a chance. I think it's important to give him a chance as well.
Yep.
Nothing makes me more upset at so-called football fans when they call a rookie a bust.
Yeah, you can't do that. But bro, they called him a bust week 2, week 3.
Yeah.
I missed the first game. He was a bust.
I will stand here and defend myself, man. I called him a rookie bust. That was He's not a Ryan Leaf.
Wasn't at you, my friend.
I know. I'm just.
I believe you got to give the rookie 2 more years when it comes to Jeff Okudah. And then in 2 years, we can see if this guy, is not that good. Whatever. That's the way
I gotta say this, bro. I gotta say this. If you're taking 3rd overall, you gotta have something, bro. You gotta have something. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying about if you're taking 3rd overall, you've got Chase Young, defensive rookie of the year.
Chase Young.
I wanted Chase Young too. I thought we was gonna do something, but Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. So that's the weight I'm putting on this young man's shoulders. 3rd overall pick. You gotta live up to it, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to counter that. That was my guy.
Matt Patricia probably would have played Chase Young at defensive tackle though.
Matt Patricia wanted Derek Brown. He wanted Derek Brown.
I'm just saying, man. He completely messed.
Hey, hello. What's going on?
Hello.
Hello. I don't know we had phones today.
Hey, and so right now, folks, it is your time to run the show. It's the mailbag segment. That's where you guys ask us questions, and we shall give you answers. Whatever you want to ask, do hashtag Lions, hashtag NFL. This is your time to rule the roost. Make this bad boy go. Give us questions. Hey, we know being a Lions fan, and there's a lot of questions out there. So let's get them in there. Let's see. Detroit has some of the best fans and worst fans. Half of us are loyal and half of us are entitled. I think we're just confused because we just want to win. That's it. We just want to win. We have lost for so long, and I think we're frustrated with losing. It sucks losing. We just want to win.
And we fight amongst each other way too much. We do.
We'd be used to losing by now.
We do. We fight amongst each other. And you know what? I blame a lot on myself, too, because I'm right in the middle of it.
So let's see. What you talking about? We should be hard on them. You are all full of it. No, I'm saying it's okay to be hard on anyone, but give them a chance. Give them a chance.
There's a difference between criticizing and then calling them a bust.
Yeah.
Like, I disagree with that. It's not okay to be hard on everyone. Okay?
I'm just full of whiskey. And Coke.
Let's see. All you are doing when you draft a corner, for the most part, is putting yourself in position for the first chance or a second contract. They take long to develop. Yeah, they generally do take a long time to develop, 3 years. And that's just the way it is. These fans deserve better. It's a shame that people criticize them for being open. Yes, everybody has an opinion.
B. Taylor is the man, bro.
I know he is on fire.
You
have to have an opinion.
Me and Antonio Hightower are about the polar opposites of opinion. We all got an opinion. It's okay to disagree, man. Let's see.
All right.
Let's see. Let's get some questions in there, folks.
Okay. Hashtag ISN. Hashtag panel. Make sure you like it up as well.
Oh, here we go. David, if Sewell falls to 7, do you guys still trade back? Oh, my God.
No.
I think I would die.
That's a dream come true right there. Your line is set.
Yeah.
Your line is set for 10 years.
But you really get a good trade back.
But he ain't falling back, dog. He not falling back, man. He gonna be on Burrow with Burrow and them. Burrow.
Let's do a quick question here. Let's do a quick Y or N. I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat. If Sewell is there, do you trade back? Y for yes, N for no. And I'm gonna ask Mark Orem. Do you trade back or take Sewell?
Oh man, I'm starting to like Rashad. I'm gonna say, no, man. You pick him. You grab him. Yeah. You grab him.
Great.
I'm starting to like Slater a little bit more though, but Sewell, man, I think he's going to be special eventually.
Got to take him, man. Matthew Stafford was sacked 40-something times. You got to take him, bro.
Yeah, that right side would be set. That right side would be nice.
Dern, what's up, man? What do you do?
Oh yeah, I'm taking him. No doubt.
Antonio Hightower. I have a feeling it's going to be different.
Oh, yeah, it is. Would I take OT number 2? No, trade back.
I'm feeling you though, bro. I'm feeling you. I'm starting to like Slater a little bit more too, just a tad.
I will see what the option is to trade back.
Yeah,
I would look for sure. Yeah. I would entertain it, but I think I would be doing backflips. I wanted Josh Allen when we drafted T.J. Hockenson, and Josh Allen was taken before, and I was not happy about that. I would love to get Sewell. It's like getting Chase Young on offense, in my opinion. Just someone that you could really you could run the football forever, but I'm listening to every single offer.
Mike, I feel like we don't take him. I feel like we wouldn't even have taken Allen, bro. Like the way that this team did, I just don't know if we even take him, bro.
Not that we do. Only reason I say that because Bob Quinn was like raving about him. That's the only reason I think that, because he was like, man, I love this guy. I think he's
and
like
it did go Bob Quinn's way. It did go whatever he got the guys he wanted.
Man, you guys are fired today. Trade package, Jay White. It would have to blow me out of the water. I think the Washington trade package I would take because you'd be getting a first round pick next year. But it would have to be something the equivalent to blowing me out the water. But Travis Doyle dropping the super chat. Players I think we should target: defensive line. Thoughts on Raquan McMillan, Kevin Pierre-Louis, Tyus Bowser, Taco Charlton, Roy Robertson Harris, and Tedrick Johnson. Antonio Hightower, what do you think about those guys?
I think this guy's pretty all right. I actually I like Raekwon McMillan. I do like Raekwon McMillan, and I do like Roy Robinson Harris. Taco Charlton, no, don't even do it. Don't even do it. I do like Raekwon McMillan though, so I would love to see them take a chance on him.
Dern, any of those guys that you'd like to take a look at?
Tyus Bowser is pretty much a just straight jack linebacker, but I do like his production, but I highly doubt he leaves the Ravens.
Ben Diesel says Lions can fix the defense in the later rounds, coaching and free agency. I believe our defense isn't as bad as everyone thinks. I believe half the problem was the coaching. Let's talk about coaching. Do you think that just by the addition by subtraction of Patricia leaving this team, yes, that's his correct name.
That's a great one.
The defense is immediately going to get better, and Aaron Glenn's no slouch. Mark.
Yeah, hey man, Aaron Glenn is coming from a good program. He's coming from the New Orleans Saints, where they were very aggressive. Everything's nice on paper so far, guys. We still don't know how this defense is going to look. He made it a point to say that, and like I think we've talked about this before. He made it a point to he was taking shots at this coaching staff, saying like, man, these guys looked lost out there. They didn't know what they were doing, swiveling their heads around, not knowing where to be. He's like, I'm going to make it a focus on me to make it about the player instead of the scheme right away. So I think on paper, yes, it's going to be nice. And he's coming from an aggressive style, man. And he's got some aggressive coaches with him. So I think we're going to be better. I just don't know how much, man. There's only way to go, eh?
There's literally nowhere to go, bro.
There's nowhere else to go but up.
And
you know what? I think
to be better.
I think Matt Patricia's first year was a fluke. I really believe that, because you're talking about 31-32, and I mean, there's nowhere else to go but up. So if we wind up 30, is that really progression? You dig what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the same time, I mean, here's the thing about that question, Mike and panel, that I think is interesting. You got guys that Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, two expatriates, bring in, okay, and they don't want to play for this guy. Then Bevel takes over, and we still blow. Okay, so now we're going to change scheme and expect these guys to be just flip it around. I said we need a top 15 defense, man, to be to make a legitimate jump, and I just don't know if we can do that with this personnel, Mike. I don't know, man.
I do think that the defense will just get better just from the coaching standpoint. With that said, it's not going to make a massive jump. I still think there's personnel issues. We got the linebacking core. You can't make up for this lack of speed that we've seen from Jelani Tavai, Christian Jones. Jamie Collins is the best linebacker on the team as of right now.
Yeah.
I don't mind Jamie Collins, but that's not good. You know what I mean? Jalen Reeves-Maben could not beat out Tavai, could not beat out Christian Jones.
Which is bad.
Okay,
that's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's bad and sad and makes me mad.
I really feel for Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn himself and Brad Holmes, what they got to do to this defense, because what Matt Patricia did and they done to this defense is criminal. It's absolutely criminal, Dern. Yes, good one, Dern.
Mike, is
Sorry
worse
about that.
than
I was muted.
Okay.
So what was that? Sorry.
This defense, what was done to it when it comes to Matt Patricia was criminal. Do you think that just by the coaching staff, a new coaching staff, the defense will get better? Or do you think that it's a little more deeper because we do need roster turnover?
Oh, absolutely. So what that terrible, awful, garbage scheme did last year is put every single player on that defense is the worst position possible to succeed. I mean, look at your defensive backs. You put a rookie corner with a hurt groin on an island. How do you do this? You put him on an island with no pass rush help. Of course he's going to fail.
Facts.
If Trevor Lawrence pulls an Eli, how does this affect us at 7?
Oh.
My God, that would be crazy. First off, do you think he could actually do that? I don't think so. Urban Meyer, Jacksonville. I think that they pretty much got locked it up, but if he pulls it off, whew,
he's not going to do that.
Yeah, you would kind of hear about that already, man. You'd be hearing rumblings about it. I think he's pretty much got his helmet and pads ready to go.
Where would he even go?
But if you look at Eli came from like a football family, dude. Like he I don't respect that at all. You know what I mean? And I just don't think Trevor's that type of kid.
No, he's not.
I don't see that.
Yeah, that was all orchestrated by his dad, man.
I know.
Stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
I think
Ben
so.
Diesel's got a good one here because I love talking about Stenberg here. I wonder if Stenberg will win the starting role this season. We haven't heard anything about him. I think he's a Dan Campbell type of player. I 100% agree with you. He's a Dan Campbell type of player. He's rough and he's tough and he will knock your nose down.
Yeah.
What do you think about him, Antonio Hightower, Stenberg? Can he finally get a chance to break this lineup, maybe take over Joe Dahl's spot and be that guard we need him to be?
He could possibly be that mauler in the run game, powerful dude. Not that great in pass protection. Kind of got a little bit of stiff hips. If you watch the Senior Bowl, you can see he kind of get exposed in pass protection. But I think he could be protected from that by the players around him. I think he could take a starting spot. It depends on how Joe Dahl looks. He was pretty solid when he played, but he also got injured again. And when it comes to injuries, we don't know how players are going to bounce back. But I can see him fighting for the starting spot this year. It just really depends on how much he improves and how does Joe Dahl look coming off of injury.
You know what would also be nice to see improvement is these likes on this live stream.
That's
right
all
now
facts.
we got 62 likes, 129 in the building. Hit that like. Let's get to 100 likes. The folks of Chat Sports every single day, they ping me and they say, Micro Mike, I'm watching you. So we got to show these guys that the Pride Nation is real. The Lions fan base is legit. Dern, Stenberg, what do you think, man?
I think he is a really good run blocker, but I think he's not very good in the past, like Tone said. I honestly thought Joe Dahl was a free agent, but apparently he's not because I just looked it up. But I honestly don't think Joe Dahl is as great as everyone says he is. He was very mediocre last year, as you could say. When he got back from his injury, I don't think he played that well. And that's why they kept putting Vaitai with a hurt foot in that guard position over him.
Yeah, I want Stenberg to work out. I truly, truly do. I liked his physical attribute. I really liked the pick last year because I like that physical, the brawler type of players a little bit more.
Yeah.
But Frog Crop dropping a $10 super chat. Frog Crop, a member of mine, he says, this new identity that is taking place in the D is something I've never seen in 46 years. Trust under leadership. It's finally happening. I've never seen anything like this either, Frog Crop. And what I mean by I've never seen anything like this, I've never seen the trade. I mean, they wanted to get Carson Wentz, wanted the Stafford trade. How many times you hear about we got to do the Lions way? Never, ever, never, ever, ever. They're never getting back together. Okay, that's the
Mike. That's my line. That's my line.
Yeah.
And we're seeing people in same position coaches move from Philadelphia to Detroit, the running back coach. We seen with the linebacker from Chicago. I really loved it. There's nothing better than seeing a linebacker coach from Chicago say to the no. Can you hit that to the no to Chicago and go to Detroit? Here we go.
I sure can. Let me get it right now, and we're gonna do it.
To the no.
There's nothing like it, and I love it. I think we're building an Avengers coaching staff. And that's something that you need to change the culture and get the way that we need to get to. What's going on in the mix? Jay White on fire today. Smash that like button. Absolutely. Let's see here. You're forgetting undrafted free agents. How can I forget undrafted free agents? One of the guys I liked in the 2019 draft was Bo Benshaw out of Wisconsin, undrafted rookie, who is still on our football team. Maybe he can finally make an impact, right? Undrafted rookie. Who's your sleeper pick in the draft? Well, who's your sleeper pick, Mark Orm from Orm's Farm? And I'll give him mine after we do Antonio Hightower.
My sleeper pick, like what? Like a third round guy or something like that?
Third round, yeah. Say a third round guy.
Oh, I don't know, man. There's a couple wide receivers that I like. There's maybe if a Rashad Bateman can maybe slip into the third, I think he'll probably go second. But if he can slip to the third, I like a Rashad Bateman as a sleeper wide receiver. I do like him, and we do need help, guys, at the wide receiver spot. So that's a guy that I like a lot, man, out of Minnesota.
I'm going to give you a guy. I've done a couple mock drafts, 2 mock drafts, and he's been in my mock draft twice. Javon Holland, safety out of Oregon. I really like Javon Holland. I think we got 2 third-round draft picks. I think we can snatch him in the 3rd round. You throw him with Tracy Walker. I think that would be a good 1-2 combination. What about you there, Antonio Hightower? And then we'll go to Dern.
My sleeper would probably be Rondale Moore. And the only real thing about Rondale Moore is he just got injury problems. Is pretty much what it is. Because when he plays, he has first-round talent. But he might just fall to the second. He's probably going to fall to the second, maybe even the 3rd, just because of injury issues. So that's probably my sleeper pick.
That's a nice pick.
Good one. That is a good one, Rondale Moore. Dern, what about you?
Amon-Ra St. Brown. You guys know how much I like this guy. 6'1", 195, USC number 8. Man, everyone's disrespecting this guy. You can put him inside from the slot, outside. You can run the ball with him. He'll do whatever you want. He has pretty good hands, pretty good speed. I don't understand why he's getting so much flack. He doesn't have that big of injury history either. He's producing with a terrible quarterback.
And, hey, I like him as well. I have a mock draft coming out, and I think you're going to like that mock draft when it comes to the wide receiver position. B. Taylor says, do you feel Nico Collins can be this year's Chase Claypool after body measurements and 40 speed time, Antonio Hightower?
Maybe. Wide receiver is just such a weird position. I think I can see it. He has all the athletic tools to do it. I think it depends what team you go to because like Claypool went to the Steelers. The Steelers are known; they're pretty good at developing wide receivers. So while I think he has the athletic tools to do it, I really think it depends where he goes. But he definitely has the talent to do it.
Yeah.
We got a $4.99 super chat from Avery Giovanni Spirti of Detroit Podcast. What's up? What's up? Thank you so much for doing that super chat. If you have a YouTube channel, hey, make sure everybody subscribes to it because we support Lions YouTubers here. We support the One Pride Nation. It's all about getting the voice heard because the folks of ESPN and Sports Center, the only people they care about is, the Philadelphia Eagles, Washington football team, Tom Brady, anything related to Aaron Rodgers, and we're not about that over here. We like Detroit Lions. We like the One Pride. And we like it when Gridiron Blitz is doing a lot of LOLing. That's for sure.
It's a great day, man. It's a great day. It's a great day when you have accomplished something that you just knew was on the horizon, and it's finally here. And I think that's what the Detroit Lions are doing right now. I think we got a change. I think Sheila Ford at 73 years old, is doing her thing. And she's lived up to what she said. She fired the trash man and the crew. And I went by their house the other day, bro, and it's empty. It's empty. There's a Ford truck in the driveway, though, and I think that was gifted by the Ford, so he had to leave it here. But I think Sheila is doing what she said she was going to do. And, fellas, it almost feel like the NFL is saying it's our time. But I don't want to get too excited, but I don't feel like Roger Goodell is giving that little nudge to the Detroit Lions, man. Cleveland Browns made it to the playoff, beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. And now it might be our time, but hold back on that just a little bit. We got to see the product on the field.
Avery Giovanni, go ahead and DM me on Twitter. Maybe we can do a dual cast and talk some Detroit Lions and get on a podcast. So let me know if you want to talk some Detroit Lions. I love talking it. My Twitter is MicroMike85 if you want to talk some Lions football. And another super chat, oh my God, from Travis Doyley, MVP Lee. He says, what do you guys think about drafting Paris Ford, Pittsburgh safety, or Des Newsome, Carolina wide receiver? Tone, I already heard you. Go ahead, man.
Boy, Des Newsome is a monster for UNC. Like we've been saying earlier, there's a bunch of really good wide receivers in this draft class. Des Newsome is one of them. He'd probably go higher. This draft class wasn't just completely loaded with a bunch of first and second round talent. I'd love to have a guy like Des Newsome.
Dern has got to go, man. Dern, what do you got to say to the folks of Crook?
Don't eye people or players in free agency just yet. Remember that there are cap casualties. There will be more flooded because of the cap situation.
And again, that's the truth.
That's the truth.
That is the truth. Let's see here. Somebody in Facebook says, hi, Mark and the boys. Hey, someone's saying hi to you. Sherry.
How's it going, Sherry?
Love the coach hires and love the front office hires. So do I. Love the picks from the Rams trade, just not overly excited for Goff. I am really excited for the draft picks more than anything. I do like the Goff was mixed with it because you do get a quarterback. But that's how you build a franchise is through the draft. Okay, you supplement via free agency, but you build a team not just with first round picks, but with second round picks, in which we're terrible at the last 5,000 years. Third round picks, fourth, fifth, sixth. Brad Holmes, he has accumulated more draft picks. We started with 5. We got 6 this year. I expect us to get more. Next year, we got a first round draft pick added in the year following. I freaking love it. What helped the D to improve most? What would help the D to improve most? Well, you know how much I love the defensive line. And I believe that you build through the defensive line. You start with the interior, you build outward, in my opinion. If we could get a interior defensive lineman and or a beast of a defensive end, I think that's how you would start. I know we need a lot of help with the linebacking core, but it really does start up front, Mark.
Oh, 100%, man. It starts with the D-line. I'm a linebacker guy myself, but you're right, Mike. Interior D lineman. If you can get a couple studs in there that can just stop the run sometimes, man. Like we just need some stops, man. I swear to God, like we would watch the Detroit Lions guys, and the defense would come on. I couldn't even watch it. I couldn't even watch these guys because I knew the teams are going to score on us, man. Yeah. We just get a good defensive tackle, get a good DN. Get a solid linebacker. You know what I mean? You need 2 or 3 really good guys up front, man. And then sky's the limit. So that's what we need to do. Just make some stops, make some plays, please.
I really hate seeing teams run on us. 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, 20 yards. It drives me crazy because if you cannot stop the run, how can you win a football game? And you got to be able to stop that run, and you got to have a defensive tackle in there that can do it. Antonio Hightower, how would you start to build this defense?
I mean, I would start to build it around the linebacker core because even though I think the defensive line needs help, we saw, especially starting later in the season, that Tennessee and I forget his name, the nose tackle that we picked up in free agency.
Danny Shelton?
Yeah, Danny Shelton. Danny Shelton was starting to pick it up before he got injured. They was really starting to dominate against the run because they literally had to dominate against the run because the linebackers couldn't make a tackle. Like they literally they had to take it into their own hands. They had to say, we're gonna have to be so dominant up front because our linebackers cannot make a tackle other than Jamie Collins. Like they would just run past all the linebackers. It was just so horrible. I would start with the linebackers. I wouldn't take, Parsons at 7, but I start with the linebacker core.
I have no problem starting with that linebacking core because it's so pathetic. I've never seen this. Yeah. I've been watching Lions football for 29 years. I've never seen so much pathetic linebacking core in my life than last season. I was doing play-by-play, and I was telling you, the middle's open. Attack, attack. Yeah. Do you think Terrell Crosby can be the future starter for this offensive line? Hey, 5th-round pick out of Oregon. I like my Oregons because I'm an Oregon Duck fan. Look, I think he's okay, right? But I would like to have a dominant offensive line. Yeah. And I don't think he's going to be a dominant right tackle. I think he could be an okay right tackle. A Rick Wagner. Well, what say you, Mark Orem from Orem's Forum?
Yeah, he's kind of had his opportunity this year, obviously, with some injuries to Big V. And he was pretty inconsistent. He played well a couple games, though. I still think he needs some more seasoning, maybe a few more starts under his belt. He was a guy that actually fell in the draft. It was actually a good pick by Bob Quinn, believe it or not. It's a guy that slipped to the 5th round. He was probably graded at a maybe a late 2nd, early 3rd, but he had some injuries at Oregon, if I can remember correctly. And it was actually not a bad pick by Bob Quinn for a guy that could be possibly maybe a future starter at right tackle or even left tackle. But I still think he's a backup for now. He just needs some seasoning.
Yeah, he's a good swing tackle. That's why I do like him, is he can play left or right. If there's an injury, you can count on Terrell Crosby at least to help out a little bit. I'm going to throw this on you. Josh Cornell, last year's rookie that opted out, 3-1-3 clause. Yes, he was just like Geronimo Allison, their gridiron blitz. What do you think? Does he have to work a little bit harder this offseason?
I mean, apparently, yeah. And the thing about it is like when we talk about like Geronimo Allison being on the team, I like, how is that even happening? You know what I'm saying? How is that even happening? I think Geronimo actually opted out so he could kind of have a spot for this coming season. The dude was trash from the very beginning. But you know what I want to know? Why do we only have 81 likes? We got to get that to 100 at least in the next 5 minutes. So stop what you're doing. Hit that X, hit the like button, come back in the chat and have a good time. But, man, it's funny that he brought that up, man, because our receiver core is hurting, bro. So I don't know what we're going to do, but we got a long road ahead.
What linebacker in the draft are you wanting the most in what round? Look, I do like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, but that would result in a trading back. I'm not going to take him at 7. I think we do need to get a linebacker fairly high in this draft, probably for one of the first 2 rounds. Who's a second rounder that they could take a look at, like a Nick Bolton or something like that? Mark Orem.
I like if he could possibly fall. I like Zaven Collins out of Tulsa.
Yep, he's good too.
I like him. He's a big kid, man. He can do a lot of things on the football field. He's a guy that I like in the second round. That could probably slip in the second. I could see the Lions hopefully grabbing a kid like that, man. He's a game changer.
ISN, how about Walker Little, offensive tackle with the 88th pick from Stanford? I swear, everybody, you guys are going to laugh when you see my mock draft. I swear to God. I swear it. Antonio Hightower, what do you think about Little, offensive tackle, 88 from Stanford?
He's okay. I wouldn't consider him one of the top 10 offensive tackles in his draft class. But, he'd be okay. He was supposed to be a first round. A few years ago, people was talking about him as like a first round pick. I don't know what happened since then. But, it's okay.
10 more likes and we get to 127 people in the chat. Lucky now, Dylan Moses in round 2. Lucky, I actually been seeing a lot of mock drafts where Dylan Moses is now fallen to the 3rd round because there's a lot of people concerned about his injury history.
He's just not the same guy, man.
They are worried, and I think he could fall to the 3rd round now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he fell to the 4th, to be honest.
That would be insane. If he fell to the 4th, you'd have.
He's literally gotten injured the past 3 years. Like, he was injured last year. He was out for the season the year before that, and he just don't even look the same. He kind of looks scared. He's just avoiding contact. He just don't look the same anymore.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that got so much talent, but he just can't stay on the field. He's one of those guys.
That's scary, man.
Because he's good. He is good. It's just, man, if he falls to the 4th, whoo.
Brandon, ISN, we should franchise tag Kenny Golladay and trade him. I'm with you, man. If we can't get him to a long-term deal, franchise tag him. Let's get a draft pick out of him. I'm all about draft picks. If you look what the Minnesota Vikings did, they traded Diggs. Everybody said, "Oh no, what did they do to get Justin Jefferson?" And I think he worked out pretty well for the Minnesota Vikings. I think if that is the route that they cannot get him to a long-term deal, I would try to get him to a long-term deal and a good contract. I'm not going to overpay or anything. If that doesn't work out, if it breaks down, let's get a draft pick. Because you're going to get a conditional 3rd-round draft pick if you just let him sign with the Green Bay Packers or whoever he goes to. Because
not the Green Bay
Packers. They want.
Not the Green Bay Packers. Devontae Adams, McKinney Golladay. Come on, man.
Apparently
we're trying to beat them guys. We can't do that.
What's your guys' thoughts on Jabril Cox in the 2nd or 3rd round? I know Travis Troxel loves Jabril Cox.
He does.
He really, really likes him. I'm not upset with that. I'm not. Cincinnati Bengals are going to shock everyone by taking Kyle Pitts and measuring a 40 watch. I would not be shocked with that. Kyle Pitts is exploding onto the scene. He's the tight end, but they consider him basically a wide receiver. I could see that happening. Definitely could.
And that's why they're the Bengals.
I was going to say, man, you Joe Burrow got his knee back to the future. You know what I'm saying? You got to take somebody to protect him.
I'm going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. If
I wouldn't
only
be
the
surprised
offensive
either.
line wasn't like the worst offensive line in the league.
See what they do in
No,
free
but
agency.
still, yeah.
Yes, that we got to
They
get
can't-
there first.
They
Free
can't go.
agency is so important. Then we can kind of get an idea of what's taking place here. Trevor Boyle, welcome. Folks, we've been on for an hour and 14 minutes. This show generally lasts for an hour and 15. I appreciate everyone coming on. We do the One Pride podcast every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. EST. Every single Thursday. Make sure you're there. And Spiked Kool-Aid on Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'm on with the Gridiron Blitz. So is pretty much everybody. And we talk the same type of stuff, but his is more professional and a better.
No, we just take phone calls. That's all.
And if you want to call in on the Gridiron Blitz on Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST. We're going to go ahead and close this bad boy out. Mark, what do you got to say to the folks?
Just want to say thanks a lot, guys. It was awesome. OPP, always fun to do. Thanks, everybody in the chat. And it's okay to not agree with each other. It's all good. This is why we do this, man. This is why I love to do it. I love going back and forth with everybody. And I'm going to be dropping some content, guys. I've been doing some videos. And just keep in touch, man. And let's do this.
Antonio Hightower, give words of wisdom to everybody out there.
Words of wisdom. You don't take a linebacker in the top 10. That's my words of wisdom for the day. It's nice being on here with you guys. We had some interesting draft questions. I'm ready to get into these draft questions. Since I'm a Lions fan, I've been paying attention to draft since week 1. Actually, preseason. Paying attention to the draft since preseason. But yeah, I'm ready to get into the draft.
Absolutely. Hey, appreciate everyone coming on here. And then the Gridiron Blitz. What you got to say to the folks?
I got to say to the folks that Antonio Hightower makes some content. Also, B. Taylor is the man. Appreciate that. The new member, Kev'd Up. Love the name, man. Make sure you guys tune in to Spike Kool-Aid after Rocking with Michael Mike on Thursday. We do a 2-hour show, man. We're going in depth. We take phone calls. It's the voice of the people. Make sure you guys sub to Mark Orm and everybody in the panel. Links are in the description. You guys have been awesome for rocking with ISN and the One Pride podcast. We will see you Tuesday on Spike Kool-Aid. Thank you, guys.
God bless everybody that came out. Hey, we all have different opinions. That's okay. We all want one thing, though. 2 Lions to win and to beat the legacy media because we're tired of our city. We're tired of our team getting thrown through the trash. We may not all agree, but we agree on one thing. We agree that One Pride is real. Our team's got to win, and it's time for Detroit to be on top. With that said, folks, adios.